In New York City, I think there are a lot of wimpy people. A mayor, I think he's wimpy because they shut down the whole city over, 7 inches of snow. But I know one person in New York City who is not wimpy, and that's Jamie Colby, my old friend Jamie Colby, who's works now for the Fox Business Network, and she's got a new show, and she's on the line right now. How you doing, Jamie?
Are you kidding? I was out there shoveling, Brian, to make sure everybody got home to watch our new show last night.
I bet.
Well, listen, Jamie, I want to talk to you about it. It's an interesting concept. It's called Strange Inheritance. Tell me about it.
You are so kind, first of all, to invite me on. Thank you, and it's great to hear your voice. The show made sense to me from the very beginning. As soon as I heard the title, Strange Inheritance, I had been an attorney for 10 years before being on TV, and I had helped a lot of clients acquire wealth, but I never saw the other side of it. What happens after you acquire it? We all leave something behind, or we may get something in an inheritance. It just made sense. As soon as I heard Strange Inheritance, I had to see what it was all about. So 3 days after I heard the idea, I was out on the road, crisscrossing our great country, much of which I had never seen. I went to a lot of states I probably never would have visited, a lot of small towns, some with one-room schoolhouses, and great families, Brian. I was able to meet families who had inherited weird stuff, and we debuted last night with 2 episodes, probably the greatest baseball card collection you can imagine last night, and 2 kind of washed-up actors who had inherited a significant amount of money. It's not a spoiler alert because the episode did premiere last night. Did 2 back-to-back. They inherited $1 million, the 2 of them, just in time. One was suffering from colon cancer, and they'd never met the guy that left it to them. That's pretty strange.
Yeah, that is strange.
Here's a little clip from last night's show where you talk about this baseball card collection. Let's listen to that, Jamie.
Carl discovers that a similar Ty Cobb card, identified as a 1910 caramel card, recently sold for $40,000.
And I got a box full of them, and they're pristine.
That's amazing. You're sitting on a bundle of money.
Yeah. At that point, the heart is starting to race, and I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, I have $1 million sitting in a chair.
Wow. This is pretty cool, Jamie, because it sort of combines some of the reality shows that I really like to watch on TLC or some of the other networks where they sort of go on these treasure hunts or like the Antiques Road shows where people don't realize the kind of stuff they're sitting on. But then you throw in the factor of how the laws affect people wanting to pass these things on to their loved ones, which isn't that the reason we all work so hard and do the
collect these things, right?
So that we can then pass it on to our children or our loved ones. So what are some of the stories that you've been able to see here in terms of what people have done to make sure that their loved ones get what they want?
That sounds a little academic to me, like a lesson or news you could use. We also throw in a little Ancestry.com. That baseball card collection that almost got tossed by another relative when they went through the attic, which I actually had the pleasure of visiting, was from his grandfather, a German butcher who used to sell caramel candies in 1909, and the candy companies used to give these caramel cards. They didn't have stats on the back, so he had 8 sets left over that he stuffed in the attic, but he put it in a lingerie box. We won't go there. And they were in pristine condition. The lingerie, not so much. But he had Honus Wagner and Ty Cobb's, not just one, which when Heritage Auction House received the samples, they were like, wow, I would just take one of these. But 8 sets, $3 million worth of baseball cards. If they had sold all the baseball cards at once, they would have crashed the entire baseball card market.
Wow.
So I went to the baseball card show. So we throw in Ancestry.com with the Antiques Roadshow. We don't just tell people you have this and here's your money. We tell them where it came from. So a bloody sleeve from Gettysburg takes me back to Gettysburg, which unfortunately I didn't go on the 5th grade field trip. They never offered. So I got to see Gettysburg. I went to Montana with a real cowboy and found a dinosaur that he had dug up as a fossil hunter. I wrestled an alligator in Florida with people who had inherited 2,500 gators. They turned it into a gator park. Just as gators and crocodiles came off the endangered species list for the one I wrestled named Gucci. You know where he went. We made a great business out of it. So these are small business owners. These are families. These are hardworking Americans who stumble upon something that can be life-altering or it can be a burden, like inheriting 150 tractors that happen to be valuable. What the heck am I doing? A New York City girl riding a tractor. Oh, you got to watch to find out. It's 4 nights a week.
I'm wondering, though, about these collections. I mean, for example, I have a very nice collection of old vintage microphones, broadcast microphones that date back to the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s. I've worked a long time on that, and I live in fear that it'll sort of, at the end of my life, get rid of those old things. I mean, does that happen sometimes?
Let me spell my name. Don't give me your home address either. That's a very cool collection. We would definitely come and see that. And people can also email me at jamie@strangeinheritance.com to let me know what they have. But that's the funny thing. We grassroots went through probate records, small-town newspapers. We found 26 families, one weirder and more strange than the next. Not the people, although there were some oddballs, but the stuff. And now when people are going to first be able to contact us, imagine what else is out there. I only went to 25 states. I got more traveling to do, guys.
All right. Well, Jamie Colby, it's always a pleasure to have you on the show. It's good to hear your voice as well, my old friend.
Thank you. You guys take care. Have a great day.
You too.
And
good luck with the new show.
Tonight. You like cars? I got the most incredible classic car collection. Not 250 models. 250 makes of cars in Tacoma, Washington, the May car collection. You got it, the LeMay car collection. That's tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern. And there's a new one tomorrow night, too, a Stradivarius cello. I got to touch her. Her name is the Countess of Stanline.
I'm in. Wow. Old cars, I'm there.
Yeah, all right. I think Jay Leno might be watching.
See you tonight.
All right, thanks, Jamie. Appreciate it.